I'm never sure when it starts because before I started talking and it wasn't starting.
Okay, we are live.
We are.
Good afternoon, everyone, and sorry we are a few minutes late. That is completely my fault. I am getting better with my time management, I promise. And Debbie is going to turn her Seinfeld phone off.
Hello. So my name is Debbie.
I am Steph.
And together we are Stebbington.
Okay, so this week we are going to share with you Stebbington Systems. That's right. We're going to just kind of show you what we do, explain how we use and what CRMs we use. But before that, we are just going to say on this day, it would be my Gramps' 88th birthday. And so, yeah, we're going to remember him. He unfortunately passed a few years ago, 2015, the 5th of the 10th, I don't know why anyone would need to know that, but yes, but he was a legend. He really was. There are many a story. I could probably do a whole hour on just him and his stories. I'm really grateful, actually. I don't know if I've ever actually let you listen, but before he passed, he just used to record some of his stories. So then once he had passed, I put them all together in chronicle order because he just used to ramble on. I can't wonder where I get it from. So, but it was really lovely because now we still can hear his voice and listen to his stories. I mean, there's stories about when he hid a load of grenades above his dad's study, and one day the roof fell in, and his dad was surrounded by hand grenades from the local army camp. So, there's some really good stories.
Health and safety just wasn't a thing back then, was it?
No.
Why don't people set fire to things and blow things up on a regular occasion? You just go to the shop and buy like chemicals to blow stuff up. Shout out to Jim.
Whoa, Jim!
It's just dangerous. I don't know, because you can't buy those sorts of chemicals or grenades anymore, can you?
No. I remember once my grump saying he blew up the teacher's bike when the teacher was going past. Him and his friends, they just chucked a grenade, a little homemade grenade, and just blew it up. Oh, there's so many stories. Or like the time, so in their old house, it was in an old quarry, so they had the big cliff. You remember it anyway, sure, Debs. But for those of you who don't know, and so there was this big bank, so he needed to cut it. So he tied the rope round, being health and safety, but he forgot to tie the rope the other end. So he jumped down and
just kept going.
Yeah. But he did lots of amazing things as well. Like he retired 3 times? At the age of 75, he was an apprentice plumber. He kept retiring and then going back to work because he was of that generation, I guess. He loved.
You can't get bored if I retired, I think.
Yeah, and I think that was his. And then when he did finally retire, that's unfortunately, I think, he kind of stopped. But I remember my nan being like, I just need him out the house. Shout out to Nan if you're watching. But he did. He taught hundreds of thousands of kids how to fish. He used to do a lot for the local kids and that. He built a whole play area. Like, that was amazing. In Board Hill Gardens, if you're in England, Board Hill Gardens, that amazing playground area where it's like an assault course. My granddad built all of that. It gave him 3 heart attacks, but he finished it. And yeah, that was an awesome summer as well before he did that, because we got to go around to loads of play areas. I remember being a kid. Me and my sister, and he'd be like, question us afterwards. He'd be like, so what did you like about that play area? What didn't you like? And he probably did his research. So yes, today we will toast to my granddad. 88, what an age.
Happy birthday, Gramps. Happy birthday. Okay, well, from one legend to 2 other legends, Stebbington.
Nice.
Like that link. I'm good.
I think you are. I would also just like to say, if anyone would like to share stories of their grandparents, please do. We love grandparents, don't we, Debs? They're
They
the best.
rock.
So, yeah, by all means, put your comments in the chat and share with us about your grandparents and your favourite memories of them. And hi, Michelle. Thank you. She says we look amazing, so thanks. I'm sure you are too. Michelle, please do share some stories, because I know that you, yeah, I'm sure you have some. But sorry, moving back on to the legends that are Stebbington.
So, which systems do we use, Steph?
Wow. Well, we'll start with what we actually do now, shall we? And that'll probably be the easiest way. So, Airtable, one of our top 5 CRMs, and we love it, and that's why we use it. So that would be our central CRM. That's where we manage leads, manage projects, everything to do with our customer relationship. We hold all that information there. And so how it works is, oh, sorry, did you want to then say a bit?
No.
I'll just keep going, will I? I'm in a chatty mood, guys. I'm feeling better now. So yeah, so that's where we kind of manage leads, and then once someone becomes an actual client and we're onboarding them, we then can automatically tick a box and it can automatically create their projects. And through there, that's when we lay out like the plan of action, as I always like to call it, but, you know, manage what tasks need to be done, what steps, and then we can collaborate together, because Debs is in England and I'm actually in Ireland. So we can collaborate together without having to be on the phone all the time to say, oh, are you doing this, or what's happening?
Basically, we save all our phone calls for fun and laughter.
Or recording.
And just slightly off topic, Steph did actually leave me a voice note this week and then fell down the stairs while on the voice note. And luckily you're okay, I will just say that. But it was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. And one day I will release that on one of our Did You Know Thursday videos.
Did you know? Yeah, and also
I know down there.
Not only was it on a voice note, but she also shared that voice note with her partner and her son. And I actually played with my husband. I found that bit, the last bit of the voice note where I just and yeah, he too laughed. So thanks, guys.
No, thank you for some pure laughter this week.
And I feel like I'd like to shout out to Tina Hessel of Potentia Method. Thank you for the stretches and the gels and everything, because yeah, I'm feeling a little bit less bruised today.
And Lee also thanks you for the gels.
Moving on.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is this: it's so collaborative that we can update things as we go along, and the other person sees it straight away. So it's been really helpful. We can also run dashboards and reports, so we can see what we've got coming up to finish this month and what we did last month. All just there using the interface. Developer interface, I think it's called. So yeah,
it's close, but yes, it is. And like that, because I think when you can measure it as well with the projects and see kind of, you know, especially if it's something new that we wouldn't necessarily have done many times before, we can also measure how long that actually does take, so that we can, you know, if it's not measured, does it even happen?
It didn't happen. Yeah.
So we do that. We work through the projects. And then once we have finished the project, we can pick a button to say complete, and we have it set up so that it will automatically create an invoice within QuickBooks. So yeah, I love that feature, because you can actually set it so that it automatically sends as well. But we like to double check, don't we, Debs? Yeah. Don't like just send them. So even though it creates it, it means that we can just go in, check it's okay, and then one button, send, and that's it.
I mean, normally we're very much automation all the way, but there are times, I believe, and I don't know if anybody on the live agrees, but sometimes when it comes to like invoicing customers, always best to double check, because nobody wants to do a credit card like 10 minutes down the line to go and sort that problem out. So definitely checking with my eyes.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, because we're taking away the 5-10 minutes of creating, because we can set it up so that the invoice takes the information from Airtable to create it.
It does all the stuff for you.
Yeah,
you just
you're
need to make
literally
sure
just
you're invoicing the right amount of money.
Yeah, and making sure you've got the right details. Because it's kind of important. You don't want to say, "Oh yes, for doing this," and then the client calls you and goes, "You didn't do that for me." Like, oopsie.
That is something. As much as a CRM is brilliant and fantastic, it's only as good as the data you put in it, and that's like my biggest bit of advice when creating a CRM or implementing one or having a look at what you currently have. You can't. It's only as good as the data you put in. So if you've got old email addresses in there, or if you've got like no email address in there, there is no way that the CRM will know that. So just bear that in mind. So.
That's a very, very, very valuable point.
Sometimes I'm very wise.
Anyone listening, she's always wise. Okay, she's just being modest. But yeah, so then
wise old Debs.
Wow. But yeah, so then once the project's completed and we tick the button and the invoice is automatically created, we check it and we can send it. But we also have QuickBooks. We have a live bank feed. So when the invoice is paid, because we have wonderful clients that do, we can just click a button to match. So again, it's just taking away, there's no going in saying, yeah, we have received the payment. It's just keeping it nice and simple.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our main thing. It's keeping it simple but effective, being productive with it. And like that, going back to the collaborative side of it, because it's all live. So as soon as I put something in or Debs put something in, the other person can see it. So I think that's really important. And like you said, adding in the data to make sure that you keep it up to date so that everyone knows where they are. Mm-hmm. We do have another system, don't we, for communication?
Oh, we do.
Oh, we do. We do love Slack, guys.
Yes. So I came out of my job last year, my previous job, and we used to use Microsoft Teams. And whilst I still love Microsoft Teams, I don't really care. I know you hate it, but I love it. I still love it. It's Microsoft, so it's my heart and my soul. But I really liked it for instant messaging and stuff like that. But since leaving there and coming into this new role, I discovered Slack, which I'd never heard of before. Basically, it's a brilliant way of communicating. It's an instant message tool. You can pass files, you can create threads for different things that you're talking about. You can create different topics you're talking about. I mean, that we kind of don't use that much because there's only two of us. But
sorry about that, guys. Something happened. My internet. Sorry, guys. So going back, Deb's left her corporate world, came to the dark side, which is way more fun.
Yeah. And discovered Slack. So if you are looking for a instant messaging tool that you want to be able to send files and links, and you can put apps into it as well. So if you needed to start a Zoom call from your Slack, you can. It's also really good. You can, if you've got customers, you can have them coming on board for a specific topic, so you can then use them to talk to. That is also what we use, and I really like it.
I do love that. Setting up the different channels. That's how we do that. So you can set up different channels. I've seen a few people actually have started using Slack, so yay. But I'd be interested to know. So guys, if you don't use Slack, how do you communicate within you? And are you Microsoft Teams or Zoom? Or
you can be both. You can be both, because Microsoft Teams, with the one that I used to use, was perfect. I loved it. The version I've got at the minute, not so great because it's my own personal version. I think maybe if you've got the kind of corporate one, it's a bit better, maybe. I don't know. But and also I don't have anybody that I'm instant messaging on Microsoft Teams anymore. So before you start you don't use it enough, because the other day when we had a meeting on Teams, you were like, where's that button? So, to be fair, I was like, I don't remember. I don't know.
I said it exactly like that as well, guys. Where's that button? I don't know what I'm doing.
That's all I heard.
I just know Zoom. But yes, so tell us, please do share. Are you Zooms, or are you Microsoft Teams, or do you not care? Or do you remember House Party as well?
Yeah, house party was big in Corona. Like when I think about house party, I get like the exciting feeling of the first lockdown, you know, when it was sunny and everyone was drinking and like people didn't really, no one was working.
We're all
and
skinny
go
because we hadn't put on the COVID pounds.
Quarantine yet. And like you'd have like all your skinny like summer clothes on, and you'd be like, hey. Yeah, I do remember house party.
Do you also remember when people just used to show up in your chat? I used to like we'd be on calls and then suddenly like my mum would appear like, "Hey mum, what you doing? Oh, I saw you online. Thanks, mum. Shout out to you as well if you're watching." No, she'll be busy, I'm sure, planning funerals. So Slack is great, and it's also great. We actually use that. There's a lovely little automation Deb set up so that if someone hasn't paid, we get a message to say, nudge, nudge, you might want to tell your customer to do that. So yeah, you can, that's how we link it, but we do kind of generally like that Slack, we keep it internally. And also I love the search function. So you can search within the channel, you can search the whole, it's so useful. As long as you, again, it's what you put into it. So labeling things. And then the last one that we do use as well is Trello. Trello though is only for us, right, Debs?
Yeah. So Trello is for like our Stebbington things, so like organising our Christmas party. So
important things,
you know, important things like limos and stuff. Not really, no, important, but it'll be things like our social media marketing strategy, like when we're going to talk about that, or things to talk about in our next meeting, because we have like monthly meetings and stuff. And so that's kind of like how we do a to-do list for our business. Where it was like Airtable is more our customer stuff and all of that. But I've loved it. Trello's super simple as well, because if you love a to-do list, you can literally just write a little card and you can put as much or as little in that card as you want, and you can just drag it into in progress, done. And I like that.
I love it. I use it like, well, as you know, like a brain dump. It's when something comes to your mind and you don't want to forget it, but you know, like that, it can wait until our next chat, or it's part of something else. You can just chuck it on there, and then we know, right, we can go through it. So I think it's important as well that you have something like that. We could have used Airtable for it, but we kind of wanted to keep it separate.
Yeah, I think so. It's nice.
I think it's important. So yeah, that's what that's the Stebbington Systems. Airtable, QuickBooks, a bit of Slack and Trello just on the side. Yeah. So just again, if you'd like to share, if you're watching this, let us know. What do you use? And how much automation have you implemented? I'd be curious. Or would you like some help with your implementation? It's another side of it. So are we going on to the next segment?
I guess so, which would be the acronym game.
Yeah. So I am not, give me just fill the gap there for me.
Okay. So this is something we started last week. So we're overrunning a little bit today. I think we feel like we've chatted quite a bit. So today we are going to have our second round of the acronym game, which is basically in business and in life. There's an awful lot of acronyms going around. For those of you that don't know, an acronym is a saying that we abbreviate to letters. So I'm not going to say any just in case it's in this round. But you'll see what I mean. So if you are watching on the replay or you're watching live, then join in. And I believe Steph is going to give me today 3 acronyms, and I have to guess them.
Yes, and it's really hard not which ones to choose. But okay, we'll start you off with a nice one. YTD.
Year to date.
Ah, nice one.
Didn't I do that one last week? Oh no, I did end of business, didn't I? Or end of day.
Yeah, because I like to I say end of play. Because life is just a big game, guys. If you haven't realised that.
I did say, he says end of play as well.
Who does?
Steve.
Steve, does he?
Yeah. So you and Steve are the same.
We actually have something in common. That's me. That would be her partner, everyone. Okay, so the next one. Oh, I feel like this one. I think you're going to get this one because of your corporate background, but SMART.
Oh no. Now, Michelle, if you are still on this live, you should know this because we used to get this. Rachel used to give it to us all the time. Isn't it? Then there's if you do a SMART goal, didn't you? So it stands for something measured, something timed.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. So you get 2 out of 5.
Yeah,
so
no,
like
specific. Oh, we've got Mel coming in now. Mel. Thanks, Mel. Specific measured.
Yep. Mel, don't help her. She's stalling, waiting. Oh, she did.
She's helped again. Realistic. I don't remember realistic being on it because I'm sure the goals I used to give were not realistic.
They have to be realistic.
So it's only A. It's only A. I'm not sure.
Attainable.
Isn't that the same thing as realistic though?
I didn't make up the acronym.
I know you did.
But
right, so I got 2 out of 5 there.
I'm giving you half a point for that one because I think that's only right. But yes, the actual one is actually I'm not going to say it. If anyone knows what does SMART do, try not to cheat on Google, but just say it from memory.
Mel's got it. She's got them. She's on it.
She's got specific and realistic, but there's 3 more.
But I'd already said measured.
Oh, and time. Yeah.
And time.
So you've got to have a SMART goal. I like that one.
Legendary.
That is one of my favorites. And a nice one to finish, TOS. TOS.
Oh, it's a good one. Time of salsa.
That is something that commonly comes up in businesses. Guys, is it time to salsa?
It should be. It blooming should be. Time of situation. No, I don't know. I don't know that one.
Oh, okay. Terms of service.
Oh, of course.
You've
got a lot of good toss, haven't you?
I do. I think we probably use T&Cs more a lot. I think I use that acronym a lot more. T&Cs, terms and conditions. But yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
Well done.
Are we on like the drawing now, aren't we?
Well, I got 2 out of 3 and you've got 2.5. Oh, yeah, 1.5. Yeah.
I got 1.5 out of 3.
This is why I have systems to work out calculations for me.
Yeah. I've got fun one next week. Be ready.
You know, that's what I'm going to be doing. Between now and next Friday, I'm just going to be reading acronyms. Which one?
No, we've got too much work to do.
True that. True that. So there we go. I don't think we have anything else to add, but if you'd like to, if you're watching this and you have a good acronym that we might not have heard of, please do put it in the comments.
And just quickly, I don't know in the replay whether you see this, but Michelle did come back with that her grandma went parasailing when she was 80.
Awesome.
It's good for her. And I hope I'll be parasailing at 80. So I just thought I'd just mention that as we were saying.
That's a really cool thing to do, though, isn't it?
Would
you go parasailing?
Yeah, I'd do that.
You do that.
There's many things I wouldn't do, but that is one I probably would do. Probably.
Yeah, I might wait till I'm 80. Then I won't care. Live or die. I'm good. Okay. So, yeah, that's all we're going to do today. So happy Friday, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you are drinking today, let's all toast my Gramps. He would be smiling. Yep. He liked whiskey. Just saying. But otherwise, thank you. And Stebbington, delivering efficiency with a smile.
Yes, and whether you are looking to make all your operations more efficient or just need a power hour to get a specific issue or a query across the line, or perhaps you're just looking for a point in the right direction, we can help you become more productive. So you can message either of us on our social media business pages or email us at admins@stebbington.com. That was easy for me to say.
boom.
Boom.
I'm going to go and take some more painkillers. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next week.
See you
Bye.